Well, it is spring, and so we probably need a little help in the garden. Siobhan is here. It is a Creative Living Thursday, and we're doing some spring gardening hacks this morning. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, I intend to get into the garden this weekend. I know I'm a little bit behind, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of had unusual weather anyway, like some of the cool temperatures and stuff. But I'm not a huge gardener, but I have done several things. And these are some of the hacks that I kind of was checking out and seeing what could be something fun to do. So first off, I don't know about you, but I am so bad. I will get one tool and I'll go where I'm working, and then I run back and I'm exhausted by the time I even get anything in the ground. Just get a regular bucket. You can find them at a thrift store or buy yourself a new one at a dollar store. Just get a regular bucket, because the plastic you can literally spray down.
Oh, get it to carry all my stuff.
If you use like one of the old-timey baskets, it will get wet and it's not going to do well. So anyway, put all your tools together, okay? Small ones. I always keep a big kitchen spoon, and people go, why? And I go, because
you can dig.
Yes, and also getting the potting soil out if you don't need a whole lot. So anyway, gloves, the whole 9 yards. You put it all together. Here's one that you probably don't think of. Keep your sunscreen in your tool for your gardening, because it's a necessity.
Okay.
The other thing that's worth investing in is the knee, because as people that are a lot younger, it hurts the knees. Okay, so yes, and then keep your hat in it.
Okay.
Because these are all little things that you're running around trying to do. So that's what I'm saying about your bucket. And
bucket
then
of
the plastic,
goods.
yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, potting soil. Always keep a small bag. And people are like, why? I've already potted everything. I don't need it. I said, well, when you water plants sometimes, you know, the soil starts eroding, and then you're like, I got to go get some more. Just keep an extra one. It's not going to go bad. It'll be fine through the whole season.
Okay.
I thought this was awesome because you can get wild watering. You know, you're spraying and, and sometimes you're a little strong on some of the tender plants.
Oh, smart.
Just use yourself a funnel. It can
Cute.
be anywhere. There's some pretty ones that are designed for plants to look pretty, but this is how you can water the soil without ruining or hurting the plants with the strong water pressure. So that's another one I would do.
I like it.
Okay, seeds. If you are a person that goes for seeding first, it's always hard because, of course, they're very tender, very small. You can use an ice tray. You put a little of the potting soil, and then you can put your seeds in there. That will help give them about a week or so to really kind of get. The other one, of course, I even think is better than an ice tray, is keep one of your egg cartons, because that one I think is a little bit better. But same thing, you can put your soil in here and add your seeds. And if you want to save a little money, it's a little bit cheaper than trying to do that. It just takes a little more time. So that one, so that's what I would do with seeds. And a couple weeks, that way they are rooting, and then you can transplant them wherever you want them. Epsom salt. Yeah, I know. You thought it was for us to soak around in and get more comfortable and our aches and pains. If you will add Epsom salt to actually into your transplanted, so if you're transplanting plants, put some Epsom salt down in the hole. The chemical in here definitely helps them root and grab the moisture in there, because Epsom salt. So there you go.
We'll keep it here because we've got some more creative living tips coming your way in just a bit. Well, we are continuing helping our garden grow a little bit this morning. Siobhan is joining us. With some easy tips when it comes to, helping things grow.
Little things, simple, nothing big, not too expensive. First off, weeds. I don't know about you, but I fight it out every week. I need to get rid of those weeds. They're driving me crazy. This is one that people have heard probably, but I kind of added to it. Your beds, or when you're in your beds, put, of course, the newspaper down. And then put a little more soil on top. And then add your mulch. That helps to kind of put a barrier so that you don't have the weeds coming up. The other thing, of course, is if you don't do newspaper, which who hardly even has newspaper
hard to find
anymore. If you don't, you can also use cardboard. So even if you keep some of your boxes. And then I thought about this the other day. I thought, you know what? What do you do with those pizza boxes? I mean, you recycle, of course, but if you don't, keep a couple of them, because you can cut them up and use them in the garden.
Oh, smart.
So it's not something, if you'll just kind of think about things, you can kind of keep them around. So. All right, jute. Keep a roll of jute with you. So if you have plants that are beginning to get heavy or something and you need to tie them up, I know you can use wire, but that cuts the plant a little bit. And there are some other things you can buy at the actual gardening stores. But jute is very gentle, plus it's also natural.
And it looks like the color of plants.
And it looks pretty. Yes. The other one, for weeds, vinegar. If you will put vinegar with a little water in a spray bottle and spray it directly on the leaves of the weeds, it will kill the weeds.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And then if you want, it's up to you, but I also think if you'll spray your pathways, you know how they kind of come in your in the seams of
with
things,
vinegar?
Spray it with vinegar, and that will help keep them from coming up. Yes, well,
yeah.
absolutely, because it's all natural and eco-friendly and all that. So the other one, this is kind of unusual, tea bags. Okay, so if you're a tea drinker, you've got this figured out. If not, go buy a box of just regular tea bags. And if you'll just get them wet, if you will plant these near your plant, okay, the nutrients from the tea is almost a natural fertilizer.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Okay, did not know
and of
that.
course, tea is one of those that people say there's so many different great qualities to drinking tea for your body and stuff, but they're full of nutrients. And so that helps add to the plants as far as that goes. All right, next one. Hydrogen peroxide, okay? It is full of oxygen molecules. And if you spray them on the plants, like if your plant's looking kind of droopy, doesn't quite look like it's watered it, but it's still not at its fullest. If you will spray a little hydrogen peroxide on the actual leaves, it kind of gets the molecules kind of help with oxygen feeding into it. So then it becomes a little bit more of a dramatic looking plant instead of the droopy one. So
I think a lot of plants at home can have that.
Coffee grounds. Coffee grounds also. Composting, a lot of people do the composting thing, but even if you will sprinkle some coffee grounds on your beds or mix it into your soil, it also has some nutrients in it.
Okay, well, I know what everyone's going to be doing when you get home today. You're
Save
gonna
your
be
tea
doing
bags
all
and your
of
coffee
this.
grounds and your pizza
absolutely.
boxes.
Good tips. Welcome back to San Antonio Living. We're getting creative in the garden. Siobhan has been sharing some hacks to make things grow, to get rid of the weeds, just to make everything a little bit easier for us, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So in your deep pots, you know, normally we put rocks or, you know, so I thought this was kind of interesting. Again, recycling a little bit. Take your cans.
Oh, for sure.
And put your cans, 2 or 3 of them, in the bottom. It is not a solid thing, so the water can still go through the cans. And then you put your soil on top, and then you put, of course, your plants. But I thought, isn't that an interesting way to use your, if you're not going to have to take them to recycling, but keep a few of them. You never know when you're going to use them, and that way it helps with the deep pots. So
super smart.
Kind of builds it up too.
I like it.
Okay, if you are a person that likes to do cuttings off of larger plants and you're trying to grow some others, I thought this was interesting. Never tried it, but you know what? You guys can definitely tell me. You dip your cutting in honey. Before you put it in the soil. And the sugar and everything in here helps to have it root
I can see that.
faster.
Okay.
And so it roots quicker and grabs faster. So I was like, that was a pretty good one. Okay, cinnamon. I was like, cinnamon. I love to eat my cinnamon, but for bugs, yes. So if you will sprinkle this around the edges of your beds, it's ants also. The ants do not like going through cinnamon. The other thing is if you happen to have like in windows or if you have doorways that you have a tendency to see ants always trying to get through, sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon in your windowsill on the outside wherever they're not supposed to come in. And they don't, I guess it's the smell, maybe it's the taste. I love the smell and I love the taste, but I guess they don't. So there you go on that one. Okay, the other one, vinegar. I love my vinegar. You can use it for anything and everything. Soak cotton balls in vinegar and lay them around the bed also because of course it is almost a natural pesticide. And then you can also spray some of the vinegar on the soil or the mulch because of smell, but also it keeps the pesticides going, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Another one is baking soda. Baking soda and water. Mix it together in a spray bottle, but let it sit overnight. Don't use it right away because it needs to really emulsify, get together, and then you can spray those directly on the plants. And it will also help with pesticides, insecticide, trying to get rid of all the aphids and all that stuff. So
okay, guys.
It's a good thing.
You have no excuse to not be in the garden this weekend because we gave you a bunch of good information.
I agree completely.
Okay, good deal. All right, if you've got questions, you can find us on social media. We are at I Love SA Living. And of course, you can find the segments online, saliving.com.